Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be talking about statutory or civil marriage. In Nigeria, there are different types of marriages, and one of them is the statutory or civil marriage. Nigeria has 774 local governments, and in the 36 states, and with Abuja making it 37. And each of these states or local governments have different cultures and traditions when it comes to marriage. And the marriage I'm talking about here is the marriage between a male and a female. That's the marriage I'm talking about here. So statutory marriage is one of those types of marriages recognized in Nigeria under the Nigeria legal system. It is recognized because it is regulated by the Marriage Act. That means that it is contained, you can find the law that is regulating it in the Marriage Act. And inside the Marriage Act, it gives them the rights, the people who are getting married, the rights, it outlines their rights and their obligations in that marriage. Very, very important. But there are key features that you need to take note of when you're getting married under the Act or in a statutory marriage, as we're talking about now. So there are features that you need to pay attention to. Number one is that the marriage, you must know that that marriage is regulated by the Marriage Act. So it is something that the country, the constitution regulates it. Very, very important. The next key feature is that the eligibility to marry is very important. That means the people who are getting married, that's the man and the woman that are getting married, must not be less than 18 years old. They must be 18 years old and above. So getting married under 18 is not allowed under the statute, under the Marriage Act in Nigeria. Another key point is that they must not be related by blood. The people getting married should not be related by blood. There should not be a brother and a sister. They must have the capacity to marry. That's mental capacity to marry. Even though they are 18, they still have to have the mental capacity to marry. Then another point is that they must have to consent to the marriage. Both of them have to consent to the marriage. Another key feature in this marriage is the procedure, that there are procedures. Notice of the marriage is usually filed at the marriage registry before the marriage registrar. So the people who are intending to get married will go and file notice of that marriage. They will file it at the registry. Once they file it, it's going to stay for 21 days. It is after 21 days that they can be able to get married. That is because in case there's any objection, that can be tackled before that time. So after the marriage, there's usually a certificate that is issued to them. In that marriage, they can do it and still go and do whether they do a ceremony, whether it's a church ceremony or a mosque ceremony, whichever. Very, very important. Another important key feature in this marriage is that there are witnesses, at least 2 witnesses, who have to be adults, 18 years and above, at least. And in the celebration also, in the ceremony, there needs to be witnesses. People will have to witness it to show that there were people at the marriage and that the marriage was statutorily conducted. Then the next thing is the rights and benefits that accrues to the partners. That is the couple. Once they get married, there are rights and benefits that they derive from getting married under the statute or under the Marriage Act. One of them is that their marriage now has a legal recognition. Another one has to do with property inheritance. They will be able to inherit each other in case they have property. Another one is the welfare of their children, where they can take care of their children. Welfare of the children is usually very, very important when it comes to marriage under the statutes. Then spousal benefit, especially in terms of health cases, the male or the man or his wife can take decision when it comes to health issues, for example. Then when it comes to divorce cases, in terms of alimony, who pays when there's a divorce, especially when one of the partners is incapacitated? Who pays the other? It is when it is under a statutory marriage that this can be done. No other marriage can allow that, but statutory marriage, the law allows one of the parties to pay for maybe medical expenses or whatever when it comes to if one of the parties is incapacitated in terms of divorce. Then I talked about another key benefit is the key feature rather is the marriage certificate. The marriage certificate is recognized internationally and it's a document, legal document that is usually very important in visa applications or international applications when people want to do business together or they want to buy property together. That document is very, very important. And then also another feature is that this statutory marriage can be dissolved in the court through proceedings, and several reasons are there for divorce, reasons why this marriage can no longer go on. One of them is on grounds of adultery. If one of the parties finds out that the other one is committing adultery, they can file for divorce. Another reason is desertion. If one of the parties leaves the other for a very long time for no reason, then it will show that there will be a ground for divorce. Or another reason is cruelty. When the parties cannot live together, they are always quarreling or always fighting, it can also be a ground for divorce. Then if the marriage is irretrievably broken down, the marriage can no longer go on because of the attitude of one of the parties or both of them. Dissolution can take place. In this marriage, one key feature is that it does not tolerate polygamy. It doesn't tolerate polygamy. So it's a marriage of one man and one wife. Then this marriage also impacts on the culture and religion. So they can coexist together. Called with cultural marriage or religious marriage, they can go together. Nothing stops them from going together. As long as you do the statutory marriage, you can also go ahead to do the cultural or traditional marriage, whichever you call it. I've said that it has international recognition, very, very important. Statutory marriage in Nigeria is a formal and legally recognized marriage that offers couples various legal protections. So if you want to be protected in your marriage, this is the marriage that you need to look into. Whether you want to advise someone or your child is getting married or you yourself are getting married, very, very important to consider this form of marriage. Because for me, I think this is very, very important, where you can have your rights protected, where you will not be, you will not be unjustly, taken out of your marriage and the rest of it. So, equal treatment, very, very important in this marriage. And also, your children can inherit your property. Nobody will take away the property of your property after you're no more, but your children will be in the position to take that property, and they'll be cared for. They'll be cared for from because both of you, the husband and the wife, are married under the statute, and all the legal requirements have been met. So the right to provide for each other is also very, very important when it comes to issues of alimony. So like I said, by registering your marriage with the government now recognizes that you are married and you have the protection, you have the recognition, which is crucial in matters of family law, in matters of property or business ownership, and international recognition. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you find value in this video, please like this video and comment or share on it. So see you in my next video. Thank you and bye.